Okay, hey folks, quick screencast on how to use Codespaces. And I'm super excited about Codespaces. So a lot of this, so this is all tied in with GitHub. If you're already a GitHub user, you're already familiar with all those things. If not, you'll need to create a GitHub account, and then you will want to clone this CSC 134 repository. And in fact, let's see if we can look at that from here. Nope, let's go to GitHub. So I had this CSC 134. This is basically this VS underscore all underscore code. Basically, this is the book apps, example solutions, and example starts. It's the Visual Studio Code version. You don't need any of the Visual Studio Code files that are in here. These project files or anything. CPP files is all you really need, but I just wasn't going to take the time to go in and remove all that. So you'll need to drill down to get access to the CPP files. But anyway, let's take a look at it. We're going to click on new. So you'll again need to create a GitHub account. You'll want to either upload your files, or if you're not familiar with how to do that, you can fork. My repository. If you Google that, you can just Google, how to fork a repository in GitHub. So basically, what that is making a copy of a repository and copying it over to your GitHub repository. And at that point, you'll go to github.com/codespaces. You'll do select a repository, and I'm going to search here for CSC 134. You can add that, and then you can create Codespaces. So it's going to go through some gyrations. One of the issues, one of the concerns I have is pricing. You get 60 hours free per month. And so, I mean, if you calculate that out, that's 10, 12, 15 hours per week, which should be enough. If you're going to spend more time than that in the class, then you could possibly go over. But anyway, just know that could possibly be an issue. Okay, so once you're in here, you can choose some different styling. That's all fine. I'm just gonna choose that one. And so you notice over here on the left side, you can see all of the code. And then notice I've got this weekly exercises folder that I already created for you. So the idea here is a couple of things. Number one, you can go in and run existing book apps. So as I said, all of this, like the SLN files and then these project files, you don't need any of that. Really, all you're going to need is the CPP file. So if you click on that, notice that the first time, it's only happened once, you get a message to install the C++ extension. You can say install. Notice it's installing here. It'll take a couple seconds to do that. Okay, that's done. I can close it. And I think at this point you're really ready to go. If we click, go up and click the debug, which you can run in debug here. Yeah, let's do run. I think this only comes up one time. You're going to choose just this first option here, which is build and debug active file. And then you're going to see it run down in the terminal here. Again, it seems to go through some gyrations the first time. You're on the debug console by default. Flip over to the terminal, and then calories per serving. Okay, that's it. It runs. And let's look. Also, notice here, after you install the extension, you're on this extension tab. You need to go back to the Explorer. That way you can view your files. Let's close this out. Let's choose another one just for kicks. Let's choose the circle calculator maybe. So I'm just going to drill down to the main.cpp. I can click run here. It's going to run. I can enter the radius, and it gives me the diameter, circumference, and area. Okay, so pretty cool. So that's running existing projects. Now, how about making modifications? You can go in here and modify these if you want. The reason I created this the reason I created the weekly exercises folder is, so the idea here is, let's say I ask you to make a modification to the circle calculator program. What you can do is right click on this .cpp, or yeah, don't get this main is the compiled program, main.cpp is what you want. So you can right click on that, you can do copy, you can go up to weekly exercises, and just to keep things nice and organized here, let's say I'm going to create a new folder. Let's say this is chapter 3. I can just create a folder called chapter 3. It's another thing that's weird. I don't know why I can't see it. So we'll go in here and then we can paste. Yeah, see, notice it went inside the main. Try and create another folder here and see what happens. Could just be a bug. Okay, there we go. So it's inside there now. And then I can put the main move. Okay, so now it's inside chapter 2. Anyway, you can organize your files by creating a folder for each chapter you're going to work on. And in fact, you could even rename this too if you really want to. Let's rename this file. I'm going to call it circle_calc. Okay. And then you can go ahead and modify this, and let's say I call it marks. Circle calculator. I can run it. As I can see my update here. Looks good. Okay. And then when I'm ready to submit this, when I'm ready to submit this program, I need to download it. I can right click on it and I can do download. I can do download here, and that'll just download it inside my whatever your defaults are set inside your web browser. You can download it there. And that's really it. This is a pretty good environment. The other thing is this is based on VS Code, not Visual Studio Code, so don't get it confused with that. But VS Code is a fairly popular IDE, and so you can likely sort of take this skill set with you. And again, it's pretty cool that it's in a web-based environment too. Again, my only concern, or the only thing that gives me pause is that this is you get 60 hours free per month, and I've just seen some others post on some forums about running into some issues where it's not available. They run out of the hours per month. I mean, you can buy additional hours if you want to, but again, I want it to be a free option for you. But anyway, check that out as a viable alternative to either NetBeans or a full install locally of Visual Studio Code. Okay. That's all for now. Good luck. Let me know if you have questions.